It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to a special edition of Travel and Cruise Industry News coming to you from the Gulf of Mexico. We're sailing between Honduras and Cozumel. We get into Cozumel about 11 o'clock this morning. Quite frankly, folks, conditions have degenerated a little bit overnight as far as the storm is concerned. It's looking a little bigger, a little more serious. And it's definitely a situation where you guys need to be ready, because almost the entire state of Florida is now under some kind of warning or watch, including the West Coast from like south of Fort Myers all the way up to the Panhandle, including Tampa, where I'm heading Thursday. We'll talk about that and more here this morning. Before I get to the weather, how about a quick word from one of our network sponsors, and then we'll get on with the show. All right, guys. Subtropical Nicole is transitioning to become a tropical storm here in the next hour or two. This is the new cone of uncertainty as of about 45 minutes ago, maybe a little longer than that now. As you can see, the system has expanded a little bit. It's going to hit, somewhere along the east coast of Florida. Still could be a hurricane. We don't know for sure yet. That's yet to be seen. But now the west coast of Florida has come into the situation. The only thing missing there is the very south tip of the Panhandle, the west tip of the Panhandle, and the tip of the peninsula of Florida. So most of the state of Florida is going to be affected by this. Now we've got warnings and watches up into Georgia. And of course, if you follow the cone of uncertainty there, that follows the path that I'm supposed to be driving Thursday and Friday. That is yet to be seen. I did get a message overnight from the captain. I've been trying to get an interview with him, and I have a feeling his life has gotten a little busier in the last 24 hours. So whether or not I will actually get to sit down with him today or even tomorrow is still questionable, but we'll see. Anyway, he wanted to provide an update on the weather in partnership with our fleet operations system in Miami. We are actively monitoring subtropical storm Nicole, which that's what it was last night. At present, there's no change to our scheduled voyage. And then the usual lines, as everyone's safety is our priority, we will continue to monitor the weather and provide you with updates. So here's the situation on the weather. And by the way, folks, I'm not making fun of what they say about keeping people safe. I believe that, so much so that I don't even feel that I have to say it all the time. I absolutely know that they're not going to take any chance of harming the ship, the crew, or the guests with this system. No cruise ship will. And if it means staying at sea, they'll stay at sea. If they can safely get into Tampa. And one of the questions I want to ask him, because you have to go under that bridge, what's the bridge like in a storm to get under that bridge in Tampa? But anyway, that's whatever they need. Is located about 400 miles now, east-northeast of the northwestern Bahamas. Maximum sustained winds are still 45. That's expected to start increasing rapidly. The current movement is northwest at 8. Pressure has dropped to 995. So that's been steadily going down now since yesterday afternoon. Tropical storm watch has been issued for the west coast of Florida, north of Bonita Beach to the Oconee River. That's up in the Panhandle. Of course, Bonita Beach is down there around Fort Myers area. Hurricane warnings are in effect for the Abacus, Berry Islands, Bimini, and Grand Bahama Island in the northwestern Bahamas. A tropical storm warning is in effect for Andros Island, New Providence, Eleuthera in the northwestern Bahamas, and from Hollandale Beach, Florida to Altamaha Sound, Georgia. That's right, folks. Tropical storm warnings are now from Hollandale Beach. That's right there in the Fort Lauderdale, north part of Fort Lauderdale, all the way into Georgia. Storm surge warnings are in effect for North Palm Beach, Florida to Altamaha Sound, Georgia, and the mouth of the St. Johns River to Georgetown, Florida. Watches are in effect for virtually the rest of Florida, with the exception of, the tips, the west tip of the Panhandle, the south tip of the peninsula. The only things that's not included in any of this. So, guys, take this a little more seriously. Obviously, it's not going to be like the last storm, so don't fear this, but there's going to be a little bit of everything with this one. Lots of wind, lots of rain, lots of storm surge. It's all going to happen, and it's going to be a pretty widespread area too. So, all right, in the discussion and forecast, Nicole is moving, like I said, to the northwest at 8. A turn toward the west and west-southwest is forecast today and tonight. And that motion should continue through Wednesday. The turn toward the northwest and north-northwest is expected Thursday and Thursday night. On the forecast track, the center of Nicole will approach northwestern Bahamas today and tonight, move near or over the islands on Wednesday, and approach the west coast of Florida Wednesday night. Nicole's center is then expected to move across central and northern Florida into southern Georgia Thursday and Thursday night. Nicole is expected to make a transition to a tropical storm within the next hour or so and begin strengthening. It's forecast to be near or at hurricane strength by Wednesday or Wednesday night while it is moving over the northwestern Bahamas and approaching the east coast of Florida. Keep in mind, folks, that's really warm water now, so that's going to fuel it. Currently, the winds extend outward 380 miles. That's 40-mile-an-hour winds extend 380 miles from the center of the sucker. So as it moves closer and closer to the state, if you take that big a wind field, that's why a good bit of the state of Florida is in this whole thing. All right, it's going to be a major wind event for all of you guys in Florida and now into Georgia. So be aware of that. Of course, that can cause all the usual problems, power lines, trees down, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You guys continually to deal with that. Storm surge, this is looking a lot more serious now than we first thought. Storm surge and tide will cause normally dry areas near the coast to be flooded by rising waters moving inland from the shoreline. The water could reach the following heights above ground somewhere in the indicated areas if the peak occurs at the time of high tide. North Palm Beach to Altamaha Sound, including St. Johns River, 3 to 5 feet. St. Johns River south of the Fuller Warren Bridge to Georgetown, 2 to 4 feet. Hollandale Beach to North Palm Beach, 2 to 4 feet. North of Ocean Reef to Hollandale Beach, including Biscayne Bay, 1 to 2 feet. So even though you're not in the area down there in Biscayne Bay, you're going to get some storm surge from this one. Storm surge could raise water levels about 4 to 6 feet throughout the Bahamas. All right, rainfall. Following rainfall totals are expected. Northwestern Bahamas into the eastern, central, and northern portions of the Florida Peninsula, up to 7 inches. Southeast Georgia into portions of Carolina, up to 4 inches. Heavy rainfall from the system could spread further north up the eastern seaboard. Late Thursday into Friday, when I'm supposed to be driving in the middle of it. That one we'll wait to see on that. Because, folks, I'm not going to take any chances driving home. Much as I need to get home, I got doctor's appointments and some tests scheduled, but we're not going to risk it, folks. If it's bad, I don't drive. So, all right, that's going to wrap it up today. Wow, I do have some people. I'm this early in the morning. Somebody's watching. Let's see who's with us. Katie's with us. Katie, stay safe, Chillie. Zijo Cruise Fun, how you doing? Carol's with us. Kenneth's with us up in Pennsylvania. You guys are up bright and early. Good heavens. So anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up this special broadcast. You guys in Florida, now up into Georgia, need to take this a little more seriously. Yes, it's not going to be anything like you guys have experienced over the past month, but it's another storm, and it's got some teeth. And these teeth are going to be spread out over a lot more area than the last storm, as serious and bad as it was. The path was in a much smaller width area. I mean, this sucker is going to be all over the state of Florida. Wow, all at the same time. All right, so we'll continue monitoring this. I will be in Cozumel today. I will be getting off the ship as we're going in to have lunch with the lovely Elizabeth on location. But we will stay updated on things as they happen, and I'll be back with a complete update and all. And I just lost it. Oh, there it popped back on. Lost this stream for just a second. Anyway, stay safe. Think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. You guys in Florida especially, get ready. It's coming. Good luck to you guys in the Bahamas. I hope you've gotten ready because it's going to be on top of you shortly. All right, guys. We'll see you for the next update. Stay safe.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you'd like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.